Good evening. Welcome back to WTF. We are live tonight on Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. Wow. I know. May 3rd. How about that? Thank you for joining us where it's the most fun you can have on a Wednesday night with your clothes on. We have our good friends back in the studio, Jack and Paula Biger and Mary Teresa Weil from Let There Be Health and Peter Drake of Britain's Best New Jersey. Now, if you missed out a few weeks ago, we had them on and we heard all about the story of the amazing charity Let There Be Health. And Paula and Jack Biger were here. Go back and watch that show. You'll learn all about that. But tonight, we are talking about the benefit for the organization. It's going to be on Saturday, May 13th at the German American Club, the Aurora Ballroom. I can never say that. The Aurora always gets me tongue-tied. Anyway, that is Saturday, May 13th, dinner and a show. It's going to be such a good time. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a blast. You can find more information on Eventbrite for that event. But welcome back, guys. Thank you so much.
Good to be here.
Tonight, we're going to talk more about the show, Britain's Best New Jersey, and your sponsors as well, right?
Absolutely. I can't wait to talk about my sponsors. I'm glad that really two of them are here, and we have one more we're going to talk about. But Britain's Best is really one of the sponsors coming in and helping us out. So I would like to turn it over to Britain's Best and let them talk a little bit about what Britain's Best is and their show. And
Absolutely. But before we do that,
Okay.
I do want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes. My birthday was Saturday, and the amount of Facebook messages, texts, and calls, it was just so overwhelming. And I love that on Facebook. On your birthday, you go and read all the messages from everybody. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
It was so great to hear from so many people that, I haven't heard from in so long. So thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you for being in my life. All right. Now, another quick little announcement. We have a new segment this week. We're adding a new segment to the show. It's called Ruben's Flavor of the Week. So our amazing producer, Ruben, he's been scouring the town for different food kind of things to try to see if we like them. So this week he brought in Doritos. I don't know if you can see that with the influencer hand. The Doritos Tangy Ketchup. Ruben's very excited to try these, so the whole panel is going to test these out, all right? So let's give it a go, and then we're going to get into all about Britain's Best New Jersey. All right, Ruben, by the way, you weren't here last week, so
Ruben's
we're
helping
going
us out
to,
here with the YouTube.
last week your flavor of the week was baby back ribs, barbecue baby back ribs. And the consensus was that they barely had any flavor. It just tasted like a mild barbecue. Yeah, so they were a big womp. Yeah, a womp.
They were just, are we giving it on a scale, or we?
Wait a minute, what's this flavor I'm eating?
The Reuben scale. What's the scale?
Tangy ketchup, all right.
Let's do like 1 through 10.
Like a scale of 1
Yeah,
to 10.
so what was the baby back rib?
So I guess you, let's say
I'm
like
afraid.
Like a 4.
A 4? What would you say?
They,
3.
oh, did you try them?
Not yet, but I
Oh.
can figure from the consensus that I heard.
Yeah,
You didn't try them?
he wasn't here. He left them for
Neither
us.
was I.
And I was gonna save them for him, but one of the guests that was here liked them, so we sent them home.
so we're all going to try this?
We're all gonna
flavor?
try it
And-
simultaneously.
Where should I?
So here's the scale. Here's the scale. 1 through 5 is either no taste at all, not flavorful.
Okay.
5, a little boldness, a little tastefulness. 10, the taste is fantastic. It has boldness and it has flavor. But it could be in between 5 and 10. So you can get it's going from
All right.
nothing at all.
I gotta
I feel
say,
like we're doing
We're just
an
talking
Olympic.
about the flavor.
I know, I'm a little scared. Like, I love a Dorito. I'm not big on ketchup. I don't know about this.
I'm just scared that it's
I was gonna
Dorito.
get the mustard.
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
going to tell you right now, Doritos isn't something that I eat, but when I do eat something that I'm not supposed to eat, I'm going to enjoy it and say it's good for me.
I haven't had a
And give it a
Dorito in
rating.
probably 4 years.
This is oddly good.
I was thinking just
Got
about the
it?
same thing.
Yeah, it definitely has
It's
a kick
oddly,
to it.
this is so bizarre. The flavor, I can't explain
A
it.
little spicy.
Ketchup,
It's because
Spicy
it's a
ketchup.
Dorito.
Yeah.
but you still taste the Dorito, but
It's because it's a Dorito.
Yeah.
as if you dipped a Dorito in ketchup.
Right. Yeah. That's what it tastes like.
All right, what do you rate it?
I don't know what they got.
I'll do a 6.
I'm with them. Six.
I'm gonna say 7. Like I'm gonna eat the other one.
Is it my turn to?
Yes,
Yeah.
rate
Okay,
it.
wait a minute, rate it. I'm sorry, I
We
don't
can
eat this
skip
stuff
you.
all the time. I'm gonna give it a
Savor
10.
it. Take it in.
It is so
It's
tasty.
Like a
I don't get this stuff at home.
Wow, it's a 10.
Here, give her the bag.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would do
But
again.
no more.
So, you tried it yet?
I did. I'm gonna give it a
And?
solid 7.
7.
Well, I don't like ketchup, so that's a downer for me right there. And so, to me, it's got flavor. I'll give it a 5.
Okay. Well, because you like it, but it's not bad. Sweet.
I can't stay with the 10 that I gave it the first
It's
time.
a
I have to
10.
eat another one.
11.
No, I don't want another one, but man, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I liked it, the taste.
I
liked
I
it.
gave it a 7, a solid
What
7.
about you, Ruben?
Would try again.
Oh, let's try now. I have to go with Tracy. 7.
It's like
Why? Because I can taste the flavor. It has some boldness to it.
It definitely has boldness.
oddly
Your
interesting.
Your fucking flavor is
not-
there.
It has a little thing, but not tangy. It's slightly tangy.
It goes away fast.
So, yeah.
Man, you guys
You
are
can
good
smell
at
it.
this. I just need 10.
It's our new
You guys are-
segment every
You guys
week.
are serious.
You can smell it.
We're
I
like
have to go with Tracy, about 7.
Solomir.
Yep.
What's
That's
the
okay.
word?
Well, it was good. Would buy again?
I said 6.
Oh, 6?
I went with
6, 6, 6.
We're all
6,
6 down here.
666. Who needs
Oh,
all that?
yeah, I
I
know.
know, right?
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
6.5,
Yes.
6.5? Yeah. So,
tip balance.
so we got a 10, a 5, 7,
I do 7.
and a 7, and
we're all
666 over there.
Oh.
My
I don't like
goodness.
that.
So, and you gave it a 10?
I did.
Okay.
I'm standing with
So,
you.
You're
let's
easy
say the
on
average,
snack
So easy.
so let's say the average, the whole, for the flavor, the total will be about 7.
I think so.
Yeah, average 7.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Okay,
It's oddly delicious. I don't know what else to say about it. It's
It's pretty good.
If you're
I
a
think it's a
ketchup
Dorito.
fan, like some people put ketchup on everything, I think they'd be all over that.
I'd put them out at a party.
I wouldn't buy them if I saw them, but now tasting them, yeah, I would
Right, yeah,
I'd take them to a
right.
party.
That's-
Well,
that's
thanks,
flavor.
Ruben. That's
fun,
that's
Ruben.
it for Ruben's flavor of the week.
Flavor.
Doritos
Taste
tangy
test every
ketchup.
week. Should be a
Check it
different
out.
taste test.
I like
It's
the
a new
flavor.
segment.
What are you
It's
having
Ruben's
next week?
flavor.
Right, this is what I'm saying.
Thanks,
It'll
Ruben.
be a surprise. Yeah, we're not gonna tell you what it is, only me and Tracy will know. This one was actually a surprise to Tracy. I usually give her a heads up, but,
No.
so you never
I
know what's
like
gonna
this.
be
Next
different.
time it's gonna be a blind taste test.
Yes.
All right, good stuff. I
Oh,
love
are
it.
we
Thanks,
gonna have to
Ruben.
guess what it is?
Yes,
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
that's gonna be fun. All
Like a
right.
blind taste test?
We're gonna have to guess what we're eating.
Eating
Oh,
next week.
okay.
Well,
so
you
we just-
guys watching and
I mean,
listening
am I
don't
get-
want
I
to
wanna
miss
know if
it,
I'm
so
getting
make
one
sure
or
you
not.
follow us, like, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook. Send us comments, interact with us. Even hate comments. We don't even care.
Hate comments. Just
Whatever.
comment.
Do we really want that?
I do. I feel like you've made it when you get hate
Oh, when
comments.
you have haters.
That's
Yes,
what
you know what?
That's
Yeah,
how I
we can
feel.
use
Oh, I
few
made it a
haters.
long time ago then.
So bring it on.
You've been a star and didn't
All
know
right,
it.
now I'm going to turn it over to Peter Drake from Britain's Best New Jersey. Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Hello.
Ruben, it's a great way to start a show with food. Growing up in Liverpool, my mum used to give us dried bickies and a little tea in the morning, but this was much, much better. So, what's happening? The boys send their greetings to all. Looking forward to the show on the 13th. Now, before we used to introduce our opening act as the Queen Zone, but this year it's going to be the King Zone because the King has been inaugurated and he's now running the country. So the Queen's Own, or the King's Own, Roxy Faye, will open the show at 7 o'clock. Now, this is a theatrical reenactment of, if you all can remember, the 9th of February, 1964.
Like it was
Does
yesterday.
anyone know that date?
Because you told us last time.
That was the first appearance of the Beatles in North America. And they played the A-sides and the B-sides of the 45s. Do you remember the 45s?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, you don't. Stop
I
it.
do. I had them on my Fisher-Price record player.
Oh, those. Yeah, no, I had real ones though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to put the thing in the middle
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a spectacular evening. Again, Jack, I want to thank you and your wife, Paula, for choosing our group to be the entertainment for the evening. I think you'll find it to be listening to the greatest music ever recorded. So
I agree.
we all agree on that. I would before I forget, I would like to have Tracy and Jen pick up the envelopes that I hid underneath your notes.
Okay. Shall we open it?
No, you can open it, yes. And the boys, along with Jack and Paula, would like to invite you to come as our guest on the 13th.
Oh, wow.
And there's your
Thank you so
ticket.
much, Peter.
Oh, thank you so much.
That is
Peter, thank
so
you.
nice.
And the
Thank
boys,
you.
And you can also thank Jack and Paula.
Jack and Paula,
And
thank you
Yes,
so
thank
if you
much.
can't make it that evening, please pass it on to someone that might enjoy the Beatles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
But
are,
Please try to make it, because the Beatles they're iconic. Their music is
Absolutely.
going to go on and on and on, even if you didn't grow up with it, with the people all screaming on the Ed Sullivan Show and everything. Their music has absolutely continued on from
Oh,
generation.
yeah.
I have somebody who wants to bring I forget how old the grandchild is, but he's so into the Beatles right now, and she called up and said, "Can kids come?" And I'm like, I didn't see anything on the wall saying kids can't come, so, yeah. If
Bring them,
likes
yes.
the Beatles, bring them.
yeah, we've raised our children on all the, classic
Yeah.
rock kind of music. They love the Beatles.
I'd like to ask Tracy, what's your favorite Beatles song?
Oh, well, I've been listening to their newer material. So actually, I meditate with it. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That's been a favorite recently. Yeah, so I watch it on YouTube and do my meditation, and the obviously your eyes are closed and the lights from the video are flashing. It's really a cool meditation experience with the music. And I recommend the earbuds, when you're doing that. But it's a pretty immersive kind of meditation. So
Jen, what would you like to hear that night?
In my life.
And I'll make sure we play both. But again, just so happy to be a part of this and looking forward to this. Please, folks, think about coming. It's going to be a spectacular evening of great food, great company, spirits, and great music. So thanks again, Jack and Paula, for having us.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Looking
you
forward to it.
for
It's going to be the
tickets.
bee's knees.
It will.
And Peter, I got to tell you, I left here the last time and I Googled about your uncle Bob.
Bob was your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, Bob's your uncle. I'm like, you said Bob's your uncle, and everything stopped, and we were all there, okay, Bob's his uncle? Okay, wait. I go home, and Bob's your uncle. What it means is everything's already been said and done. You've heard everything. Bob's your uncle. But it was like a prince or something. There was a story to it that I should have looked up the story before I brought it up, but I did have to look it up because you just stunned us with Bob's your uncle, and that was the end. But that was a perfect way to end it.
I am not talking to you.
What are you saying? What's Paula talking about?
I read Tracy's face.
Oh, I thought you were.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, distracted. So Bob's your uncle. We don't know what the story is?
Yeah, Bob's your uncle. We're done.
It's all been said.
All right, well, I'm definitely going to Google that now when I get home.
Well, I was going to say about the Beatles music. I think no matter how old you are, what rendition, who covered it, when you hear certain songs, it just takes you to certain times of your life. Like, it replays your life in your head.
Yeah, you remember
You can-
like a
yes.
certain point in your life where it reminds you of, takes
Where
you right
you
back
were,
to it.
what you were maybe going through, good, bad, like,
Like a program in your head, and then just like when you think of like Cinderella's castle, you see that castle because it's something that's been in your head before.
Yes.
So it's a program. We're all being programmed. It's just the truth.
Well, we are finely tuned machines.
All right, well, we can't wait. Come hang out with us. Get tickets, eventbrite.com. Check it out. All right, we've got some other amazing sponsors as well.
Yes, well, you know, Jack and Paul are a sponsor also. The Our Town magazine is a sponsor, and basically, we did put you know, I know the owner, so I put a full-page ad in there.
I gave her a special rate.
I did not know this, so Our Town is your publication.
you?
Yes, that's me.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Okay, so here you
Even
go.
if I told Jack it looked like a
This
truffle.
ad's been in there, and I got to tell you, I'm so excited that I was.
Many a lunch to your.
Oh, did you? I hope you laughed a little bit. We try to
Yes.
make you laugh. We try to
Yes.
make you cry. We try to make you think because
Yes.
you know that's what everything's all about. But I love it. We don't have to do this often, but we got to test our own magazine, and I got to tell you, I'm thrilled with it because half of the people sitting in that room is from the Our Town magazine. And, you know, the Beatles is a draw, so, but my phone, it's my phone number that's in there, and my phone has been ringing off the hook, and it's so funny, people want to know, so what's the food? And so I said to Jack, next time, put the food in there. So whatever they ask, I said, put the food. But then people still want to know, you know, what time is the show? What time? So, I mean, we're going to have an agenda that night, but, you know, the doors open at 5:30. We're going to eat first, I believe, right?
6
We're going to
o'clock.
eat. We're going to have the beginning show
At
of
7.
Miss Faye.
Roxy.
Who's going to be the opening act?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. She will be the opening act at 7,
Okay.
and then the Beatles will arrive at 7:30 to perform.
Okay, because now that, okay, we're going to work that out because
Is that
now
helpful?
I thought I'm going to have to fill it with some kind of music because I'm not talking all that time.
I can sing if you'd like. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
I like
Just
that.
kidding. No.
Don't
Nobody
give me the
wants me to
microphone
sing.
when if I, you know, don't give me the microphone if nobody's singing. But anyway, back to the Our Town magazine. I was very pleased to find out that my magazine really works well because I was getting phone calls in the beginning daily, and then every week I was getting a phone call.
Fantastic.
And they
It's-
were either Venmoing or sending a check to the P.O. Box. And I got to tell you, I did the Eventbrite because my daughter said, you got to do Eventbrite. That's what everybody wants. I think we had one Eventbrite. The rest was all Venmo, and the majority, believe it or not, I know you young kids don't want to hear this, was pen to check in. It amazes me now. Snail mail. It was like the Pony Express that must be right now because they had to get an envelope, stick it in, and then they covered the check up real good. You know, they had to make sure you couldn't see it was a check.
Yes.
Put the stamp on it, wrote everything out. I'm truly amazed that
And it
the
took 2
mail
weeks.
still gets where it's supposed to be.
So far, how many tickets have you sold?
We don't have a total count, but we can, the room can hold 200 people, and we'd like to get there, but that would kind of be a small miracle at this point.
Hey,
Stranger
I mean,
things
you've
have
seen
happened.
miracles.
Oh, I believe in miracles, so it could happen, but they got like 2 weeks, because we have to give the head count to the caterer no later than Monday, so we have the room, we have the room pretty filled. We're gonna make it look really
That's
good
wonderful.
with table, and there's gonna be dancing, it's, right? There's dancing, right? Because I think there's gonna be a couple people screaming.
It's all about girls and dancing.
Yes. Now, Mary Teresa, will the chairs be covered? Are you covering the chairs?
Oh, yeah.
I did an event with Mary Teresa, and we had to cover all of
The
the chairs.
chairs.
How many chairs? 400?
At least, yeah, 400 chairs we covered, but they look nice.
They looked nice.
looked really nice.
But I don't know if it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Covering
I'm
and
gonna
then
try-
when
It
the
was
event was
taking them off
over,
that
you
was
had
the
to
problem.
uncover them. It
I'm
was-
telling you right now, we're
yeah.
not covering the
That
chairs.
was
I'm just telling you, we're not covering the
You
chairs.
can cover them. I'm not helping. That's all I know.
We did it already.
I
That's
love
it.
you, but I'm not helping uncover chairs. Anything else? Anything else you want? I'll do.
If there's anything like that, but yeah, the magazine works. So and so
So-
we got Britain's Best, Our Town, and Big Man's Brew. We're really excited about Big Man's Brew. They're our major sponsor, and you know, just like bumping in to Britain's Best, God puts people in my path. Period. And miracles happen every day. That like Jack keeps saying, you're worried about too much. Everything's going to fall into place, and then everything does fall into place. And so Big Man's Brew is really a cool sponsor. The reason why Big Man's Brew is even in existence is they are giving a tribute to Clarence. I always say his name wrong.
Clemens.
Clarence Clemens. I always say that, Judge. It's Clarence. It's Clarence Clemens. And Clarence Clemens was the sax player for the E Street Band, Bruce
Bruce
Springsteen
Springsteen.
E Street Band. He's touring the world right now, right? But here's the connection. Ringo Starr had an all-star band, and Clarence Clemens.
Clarence
Clarence Clemens
That would be really
participated
impressive, though,
in
if it was
it
Clarence
every
Thomas. That'd be
single
so
time,
impressive.
and they brought all like different bands together and did this wonderful thing. So I love that there's that connection.
yeah,
there.
I love
That's,
a connection.
Super crazy. And so Big Man's Brew was formed as a tribute to Clarence Clemens, because he was a guy that lived really big, and that's why they called him the Big Man, Big Man's Brew. And they didn't want to just simply do anything because he was different, so they wanted to do things differently. So they created this, I always say this wrong too, AIP, PIA?
IPA.
IPA.
2 IPAs.
2 IPAs. And I'm here to tell you, Mary Treese and I, we have definitely tasted this beer. I've had this beer at parties of mine, and we're not really beer drinkers, but this beer is delicious. It's citrusy. It has like,
Ruben might have to get on
It's
that.
very good.
oh my gosh, it is so
Flavor
good.
of the
And
week.
you can buy
Oh, yeah.
it. You can buy it in Wegmans. You can buy it in most
ShopRites.
ShopRites. They're in.
MetLife Stadium.
They're in, yeah, Mary Teresa's a Giants fan, and so it's in that
Wow.
stadium. It's at Count Basie's Theater, so it's and it's a tribute to Clarence Clemens. It's his sons wanted, his legacy to move on, so I think that's really cool that there's meaning behind
That is,
behind
and
it.
I love the connection. It's
I
perfect.
couldn't believe the connection when
And my husband's on the board.
Mary Teresa's husband's on the board of Big Man's Brew.
Larry, right?
Yeah, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi,
So
Larry.
will he be serving Big Man's Brew at the event?
I'm not sure if they're.
Oh, I didn't mean
I'm
to-
not sure if
Beth is
they're allowed
coming.
to bring stuff. And yeah, the chair, the somebody who's really at the head. I don't know what her.
She's like the
She's like the big.
President,
She's
I
the
think.
the big person
the
on
head
there.
of it.
That's who
Beth
is going to be
Fromkin.
there. Beth
Yeah.
Fromkin. She is. I think it's the chairman of the board. Who, whichever is
Mm-hmm.
the top person, she's going to come there that night. So, and she's going to have a lot of cool stuff on her table for everybody to see, and there, might even be investment opportunities for somebody who wants to invest in something cool like that. So I'm glad Beth is going to be there and talk more about it. And if we're allowed, there'll be samples.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right, so Big Man's Brew. Now, where are they based out of?
Let's see, Big Man's
New
Brew.
Jersey.
Thanks,
Great
Sarah.
answer,
Well, let
Jeff.
me
Great
tell you about one of their beers is called Hazy Groove IPA, and it's not just your every other IPA, because that's been done before. And since he's the big man, they wanted
Something different.
They wanted something different, and surprisingly fresh citrus notes that leave you begging for more, just like a classic big man sax solo, because that's
All
what
right.
he was, the soloist. I mean, I remember seeing the E Street Band in Princeton. What's that little? It was called Alexander Hall. I mean, we're going back. I was in high school, and Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band comes, and who's in the middle but Clarence Clemens with that saxophone? And when he did his solos, I'm telling you, that you could hear a pin drop. The whole band is amazing. They're still they're touring the world right now. I think they're in Europe. They were
They're in
just
Spain right now.
in New Jersey, and now they're in
Spain.
they're in Europe right now. So.
And also, they also have, it's on tap as well. So the tap is a saxophone.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes, it's a saxophone tap, so
It's really
that-
cool.
That is cool.
Have you ever met Bruce or anybody in the, you're a
Well-
big fan, right?
Yes. Well, I've met Clarence many times.
Aw.
And
Clarence
you see his
Clemens.
sons all the time. now.
Yeah, and it's his sons. Yeah, we see his sons a lot and stuff. So
I think we need to make a field trip to go taste this.
I think that would be fun.
You should. Well, the theater. I guess it's when there's an intermission, you can go out and you can get one. But you know what? Check out Wegmans or
yeah, you
ShopRite.
could just buy it there.
What
Yeah, you
ShopRite
can buy it.
sells?
Yeah, what shop right sells
Actually, in
liquor?
Burlington, I believe.
In
that's-
Freehold
Really?
also.
Oh,
Yeah,
Freehold
they have to have
has
a
it.
ShopRite liquor store.
Yeah, in
And the
Freehold.
other, the Joe Canals in Hamilton Marketplace has it also. That's where I bought it.
All right,
It's a lot closer.
gonna write that down.
That's where Tracy got us their Post Malone wine.
But how fun though to just go into a ShopRite and see liquor. I don't. That always fascinates me when I'm in New Hampshire or out of state.
Anywhere other than New Jersey.
Exactly, and you go into like a supermarket and they have like the wine aisle and
Or just
I don't
going
know.
into a 7-Eleven, a convenience store, and you're going for a water, and there's
I'm like a teenager. I get a kick out of that every time. It never gets old. Okay.
And they're canned beers that I don't know, the can is so cool. It has a big saxophone on it. And I think the big man is
Yeah,
playing
he's
the
playing it,
saxophone.
yeah.
So even the can is really cool looking. Like their marketing and their logo is just so much fun.
Well, that's amazing. All right. Well, I can't wait for the show, May 13th. Please come check it out. We're all going to be there. Come hang out with us. Now, is it assigned seating, or are we just pick tables? Or
People who want to sit together, me and Mary Teresa and the rest of the board members, it's just going to be like a wedding, like the week before. Once we know everybody who's coming and everything, you will be assigned a table.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people who said, we want to sit with so-and-so, and yes, we're going to accommodate so that you're with who you want to be
Sure.
with.
tickets at the door?
We really don't want to sell tickets at the
Right,
door,
it's
but
hard
we will sell
to-
tickets at the door
Yeah,
because,
it's hard to
we
plan
are a
for-
nonprofit. This is almost like, even though we started in 2019, and like I've told you before, we've helped 50 people plus, but this is like us starting over again. This is our first event in a long time. It's we don't want to order 10 more tickets with the caterer
Sure.
because we're on a budget.
So you hear that, people? Don't wait and try to get tickets at the door. If you want to attend this great event, it's going to be a fun night for an amazing cause. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, I mean, if you show up at the door, we're gonna let you in.
We'll turn you away.
You know,
but-
I got a lot of
Turn the money away.
I got a lot of Italian girlfriends. You know, you don't want to run out of any food.
I
I'm
know,
telling you,
I
I'm
know.
Irish, so we were like, this is what you had. But when all my Italian friends, there's got to be a lot of food
an
there,
Italian's
and
worst
that's
nightmare.
What I got going on right now.
Their worst nightmare to run out of food at a
Oh
party.
no, we're not going to
Like,
run out of
that's-
food. We have never ran out of food. Pete's Steakhouse is amazing, and they always make sure there's plenty of food for.
So Pete's
the count.
Steakhouse is catering, so you know it's going to be a great meal.
Oh yeah.
Good. My son works there. But if he can get the night off, I'll bring him with me.
Yes,
Yeah, he
yes,
would love.
yes,
He's a
yes.
musician.
Oh, and then he would enjoy seeing
Oh,
the
he
classics.
loves the
Yes,
Beatles.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he's
Yeah,
21.
we love Pete's Steakhouse too. You know, it's always mob scene crowded there.
Always.
That tells you how good the food is.
That's right.
Because, you can't find a parking spot.
Ever. You can never find a spot.
Right. A good place for your kid to work, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Because
He loves it there.
yeah,
They love him. He
busy.
loves it there.
They do fun things there, too. They have bands that show up there.
Yeah, they have bands
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
They're really loud, though. I don't know if you've ever been there
No, and-
when they have a band.
It's low
Small.
ceilings and.
I realize I'm too old for that. It's just too loud, too much. So, all right, well, tell us about Our Town. So that's your magazine? I didn't,
Oh, yeah.
didn't
I
notice.
I thought I plugged it really good, saying that half the room is filled.
You
My
did,
phone's
we're
been ringing off the
excited,
hook,
but now, when did you find time to start Our Town? When did you
No,
start
no,
this?
this magazine, how old is the
been around
magazine?
forever.
We've been publishing for 17 years now.
17 years, I know. I don't
17
remember
years.
it not being
Well,
around.
this too was like a godsend. I'm telling you right now that Jack and I, we had a Curves for Women that you used to
Right,
come to,
yes,
Patty.
absolutely.
And I love bumping into my former Curves members. Me and Jack call them FM, so there's an FM.
Wait,
over
where
there.
was the, on Cooser Road?
I believe it or not, I started working there because I didn't have anything to do. The woman got so busy. I was doing.
I used to go there,
I-
Cooser
I-
Road.
Went to that one.
Okay. I kept, she left me there. She lived far away. And I said to her, I was a member, and I said, hey, it was an ice storm. I live right around the corner. I'll open the door for you at least, And she let me open the door a couple times. Then she said, hey, you want to work here? And I went home to Jack. I said, somebody asked me, they wanted me to take a job. They wanted to take a job.
Please take her.
Take her.
And then, yeah, he's like, get her out of my hair, right? And like within a couple of months, I really loved it. And I kept getting when I was there working, I'd get these phone calls, and people would say, hey, how's the business going? And I'm like, oh my God, it's going great. We're signing up people left and right. I'm hearing myself say this stuff. And then I had Jack go online and say, find out what's open in the area. And what was open in the area, she had one in Hamilton, her daughter had one in Ewing, but Lawrenceville was open, and that's like my backyard. And I said to Jack, I said, buy me a Curves.
So you went on to own a Curves.
Yes, I owned a Curves for like 12 years.
And then how did Our Town come about?
Okay, while I was doing Curves, it was running nice and smoothly and everything, so I hired people to do it so that Jack and I could go up to our mountain place and everything. And one time we were up in the mountain place, I read this magazine and I said to Jack, when you go up to Bill's, that's the local food market, I said, pick up 2 of those Our Towns because I don't want to share it with you because I wanted my own Our Town. And we opened it up and it was a full-page ad that said, would you like to take Our Town to your town? And I looked at Jack and I said,
Buy me an Our
Are
Town.
we-
I love Jack.
Started buying
He's
me an
like,
Our Town.
okay.
I said, I love this magazine. I said, let's take Our Town to your town. And if you read the magazine, you know that the cover story is what makes everybody pick it up. Bob Barley is a riot. When we called him up, and I always have Jack make the phone calls because, I'm sorry, it's still a man's world. Men gets a better reception. Sorry, it's just the truth. But I was writing like, ask him this, ask him this, ask him this. And we ended up meeting him, and he was so funny. He said, I'm going to be the good-looking tall guy with the dark hair. And then when we went to
Yeah,
meet
he was like, I'm like 6'3", I go 250. He said, I'm an ex-football
I'm
player.
buff.
He comes up, he's shorter than me.
Oh my God. Now, where did you find him?
What do you mean, where did I find him?
He's the guy from.
I called Bob Byerly because it said, call here if you want to start in our
So
town.
he started it.
Yes, he
in,
started it.
In where? In
Newfoundland,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Easter, whatever, you say no.
Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Northeastern Pennsylvania, okay.
And it's funny how it even started, to be quite honest. How it started was he was helping nonprofits by...
He was a printer. He was doing
Right.
printing at the time.
And what they were doing, people were putting things on the telephone poles. Thank you, the telephone poles. But northeastern Pennsylvania, it rains all the time. It's Pennsylvania, they call it sometimes. And so
I never heard that before. That's great. Pennsylvania. That's great.
There it rains all the time. So they were posting these things like the nonprofits, like come to my bake sale, come to my this.
They're called
come to my that.
posters.
Posters. Yeah, but they were like pieces of paper that they were just stapling on there. So he said to his wife, Bob Barley, he says, why don't I write a story? We'll put the nonprofits in for free. We'll get our buddy Joe, the painter, to put an ad in, so we'll pay for the printing, and we'll distribute it in the local stores. And the wife said, you are crazy. And she said, you can do it for 6 months. We'll see how it works. They've been in it for
29 years.
29 years.
29 years.
They have, you're
older
better
than me.
with the circulation. You're better with the circulation. There's like over,
Yeah,
There's
right
like
now.
over half a
right now
million
he's
people
he's got
reads this.
franchises
Yeah,
here
well,
in New
not here
Jersey,
in
New York,
all of
and
his.
Pennsylvania.
Wow.
I didn't realize that it was,
That widespread.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
basically,
either.
when you look at any of the franchises, the cover story is always the same. That's what he does.
Yes.
And then the inside is specific to
the
the area.
inside is like we get
Local.
all the ads for around here. And what was really cool was the nonprofits, and that's how it started, to help nonprofits, and now it's helping nonprofits all over the place. And that's why I got to put my ad in here for free, because I'm a nonprofit.
Yes. I
Yeah,
love
basically
it.
what we do is every issue, there's a page in there that says good things happening, and it lists events of different organizations.
I know, they read it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just
We do, but you know,
we want
the
the world to
listeners
know.
might not. So, thank you. And you know, also, I want you to tell us again about Let There Be Health. I know we talked about it in depth. You can watch the episode. It's under our lives on YouTube.
All right, I can
But-
do it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, briefly tell us how Let There Be Health started and why you do it.
All right, well, basically, most nonprofits start from an adversity in someone's life. I had an adversity in my life 12 years ago, and the whole crux of the story was I read a Facebook post from a girl in Robbinsville. She was telling her story about how financially bankrupt she did. She ended up losing her farm, and it touched my heart. Nobody, because of a sickness, should lose their house. And basically, because of her, she had the courage to talk about that adversity, and I'm too proud to talk about an adversity like that. I know it's a character flaw of mine. I'm not letting you know what the whole story is until I know I won at the end. So she was being very vulnerable, talking about her story, and because of her, I said to Jack, we did a conference called Let There Be Health. I said to him, since we don't have the money to give to everybody, let's start a nonprofit, raise money, and give cancer thrivers, I like to call them, because cancer, what we've learned in the last 12 years, it's just a word, it's not a life sentence, if you have the right attitude, if you have the right mindset, because I believe that it is our birthright to be healthy, and we do have the power to heal ourselves. And that's a message that we are trying to get out there. We'll help anybody with wherever they are, because we love people where they are, but we promote natural healing.
I love that. So natural healing and complementary treatments.
Yes, complimentary. I'm not saying, don't do anything conventional. I'm just saying, listen to your gut. If your gut is telling you, ooh, I don't think I want to do this, it knows you better than a scare tactic.
Yeah.
Saying that you better do this right now or you're going to die.
Well, it is scary. It's
Scary when
yeah.
somebody tells you something like that.
Sure is.
Yeah. I
But-
don't know where my courage came from, because I said, what you want to do to me is scarier to me than death, so I think I'll do my own research.
Yeah.
So,
And then you wrote your book about your journey.
right, Guided Cure, yes.
She's got the Guided Cure. You can find that on Amazon, right? We can't find that in stores now, right?
No, where you
At
can find
Corella's?
it in store, locally, you can get it at Corella's Chocolates. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they didn't have any more. All right, I'm gonna
Well,
run those down.
he restocked them.
Yay! All right, I'm gonna run over and get the Guided Cure. It's just an inspirational story.
Oh, that's right, I couldn't give you because it was the only book I had.
Yes, you didn't have any.
yes.
You were
'Cause I'm
out.
thinking, didn't I give it to you? I give it to everybody. I can't believe I didn't give you one. It was my last one, that's the only reason I
No,
didn't give it to you.
I want to buy it because I want to support the cause. It's
Yeah.
really, it's, near and dear to my heart, and I want to do anything I can to support it. so.
And basically, I've had a lot of people say, even though the book is my journey about cancer, it's really just about healing. Any diagnosis that you get, you can get information out of this book.
Yes, it's not just medical, it's mind, body,
Yes,
spirit,
yes,
it's
mind, body,
comprehensive.
everything.
Yeah. And then you're working on a cookbook, can I say that?
Yes.
Hey, am I allowed to say that?
No,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are,
yeah.
you are.
I hope
Yeah,
so,
we-
because I've been telling everybody.
I know, like,
Well,
we
you-
can't wait for the cookbook to come out.
Once you say it out loud,
It's out there.
there's
Now
pressure.
you're committed.
There is pressure.
You
right
are
now.
committed to it.
I've got my outline, I've got a bunch of recipes together, I'm testing a few more recipes right now, but realistically, I'm thinking right after the first of the year.
All right, well, we can test.
I'd like to have it
We
for
can be
Christmas.
testers if you'd like.
I think you should bring it here. We can taste test.
I am the tester.
Oh,
I am
definitely.
so lucky. I swear to God. I was just doing something the other day, an online self-help program, and one of the things they were asking about was how do you, like, they wanted to know how you were feeling when you were in the shop and shopping for groceries. And I had to say, sorry, I don't shop for groceries because I don't cook. Don't hate me. Don't everybody hate me in the room. I don't know how it feels to be in the grocery store.
So you do the shopping?
He cooks.
Yeah.
He wants to get the right stuff. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does the shopping.
I don't
He
want to
bumps
take her
into all
into a
my friends.
supermarket.
I know.
All my friends, he says, I saw Mary Teresa. They said hi. I'm like, oh.
That's great. All right, well, what else? What else do we need to
So
talk about?
I have a little tidbit on the Beatles. The day that they actually played on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I heard this yesterday. I was in my car, and I was listening to the Beatles on Sirius oh my gosh, on Sirius XM, and they played. It was like the Ed Sullivan Show. They had one of the songs on, and then Ringo came on, and he was talking about the night that they played. So what happened was, they were practicing all afternoon in the studio, and then they went up to the booth, the controller, the sound booth, and so they wanted to get the sound perfect for that night. So they put chalk marks where the dials would go, for the perfect sound. Well, it happened that it turned out that the cleaning lady came, they didn't know it, and she cleaned off all the chalk marks, so
Oh my
it was
gosh.
what it was. So it was great, but that's what happened.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I just heard that yesterday as I was,
She videotaped it and sent it to me, and you could hear the people screaming in the
and I
background.
was singing.
That's a great
That's a
tidbit.
true story because I was there,
Oh, yes, you were.
playing me mum.
So now will the knobs be marked for next Saturday's show? They'll be chalked up
Peter,
and marked?
will they be marked next Saturday?
Well, they're not going to be marked because we're doing all this by wire. And just to get back to the concern you had about bumper music, our engineers are going to be playing music all night when we're not on. So you'll have entertainment between the shows.
You just made my life so much simpler. I don't have to call the whole board and say who's singing. I mean,
Problem solved. So continuous music throughout the
you
evening.
put a mic in front of Mary Teresa too, she'll belt one out.
I know somebody
Especially
else
after a
who
big
might
man's brew.
yeah, I know someone, if you give her a microphone, she doesn't let it go.
That's only when tequila's involved. Yeah. But Mary Teresa and I belted out "Hello, Dolly" the other
Oh
day.
my God.
It just came up a picture of it, and we just started singing, and then we just sang the whole thing, like as if we were on the show.
I want to hear more about this. Was tequila involved?
There wasn't. It was the
No.
middle of the day.
No alcohol was
No
involved.
alcohol involved.
That's the
We don't
scary
need
part.
any alcohol, really. That's why Jack says, really, don't give her any tequila because
What happens with tequila?
He's right. Don't give me a microphone. I think I sound really good, and I don't.
That's great.
Real quick story. We went out one night. We were at an event. We left the event and went into the bar to have a nightcap. They were having karaoke. Like I said, she got up to sing. The next morning when she woke up, she went, "Jack, I'm hoarse. What happened?" I said, "You were like."
You said I did a whole set.
Yeah, you did a whole set. She goes, "I only sang a song or two." I said, "No, you did a whole set."
They were encouraging me.
That's so fun. I want to go to karaoke with you and tequila. You're like my spirit animal.
Tequila is my
Tequila
my favorite.
Tracy, me too.
Tequila, it is my favorite, and I just want to tell you this one quick thing. When I went in for the operation, the nurse, the head nurse that was in the room with you, she just wanted to lock eyes with me because they put a really big something that they don't want you to see what they're putting in here to
Right.
get you out. Somehow, she didn't know anything about me. Within a minute, she started talking about tequila. And I said, "Oh, yes, I like organic tequila." And it was when I forget what the name of this, Trace something or other, and I was saying
Trace
the name,
agave.
the name of the tequila
agave.
and everything. And then the guy that was doing this, the anesthesiologist, he said, "Girl, you're going to have the best margarita you ever had." He was right, because eight hours
did.
later, I woke up and I'm like, "What happened?" Nothing.
Well, that's fun. So
But how did
Trace
she know
agave?
about tequila? Come on.
I don't know.
Can't look at
Everybody
my eye.
should
You
know
what?
about
I got
tequila,
like this
no?
little thing on. All she sees is my eyes, and they were probably looking like this. She says
knew.
tequila.
She knew. She had you at
I
tequila.
just have like little margarita glasses in my eyes.
I love tequila too. So Trace, what is it? Trace.
Tres agave.
Trace agaves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As at Joe Canals as well.
We get that up in the mountains.
You know, they have it at Byright, and
I'm taking notes. All
T-R-E-S agave.
right, I'm gonna try it out.
It's real smooth. You don't even want to do anything with it. You just want ice.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really
this
good.
is you don't use this
This isn't
tequila to
sipping
make
tequila,
a margarita.
no.
Mm-mm.
now this
Okay.
is a sipping.
My new drink when I go out is just tequila and water with a lot of lime, like muddled
Yes,
lime.
yes,
It's
yes,
just
yes.
so good.
It's
What?
pure. It's the least amount of sugar too. That's what got me on.
Yeah, it's a health
because
food,
sugar's
really.
not good for cancer, so you don't want sugar. So that's how it was. Who's Suzanne Summers that turned me on to that? If you're going to drink while you have cancer, drink tequila because it has the least amount of thing. I'm like, that was 12 years ago. Started my tequila journey.
Thigh master.
Yeah. Oh, that started your tequila journey. Oh, that's awesome. So
There was a vodka girl before that.
yeah, definitely a tequila girl. What do you drink?
I just started drinking tequila.
Everybody loves the Casamigos. I don't love it. I don't know. Does anybody else drink
what?
that? Casamigos? Casa Amigos?
Is that a type of tequila?
Yeah, it's like everywhere. I
George
just,
Clooney and
I don't love
somebody
it.
else's.
I like 1800 or Patron.
Once you taste this, you're going to say, "Oh,
I'm gonna, on the way home, I'm
Yeah.
going to go buy this. We're gonna test it out. What's your drink of choice?
I'm a Manhattan person.
A Manhattan. Ooh, fancy.
Since I have the mic, I want to ask Jack a question.
Sure.
In that cookbook, can you put bread pudding?
he's not a pudding guy."
I never made. I'm not a real big dessert person. The only thing that I have that's my own recipe is, and I just made them this weekend. They're chocolate chip peanut butter cookies that I make, and I use my one little secret ingredient in there is Rebel Yell bourbon.
Oh, honey, don't I'm telling you
That, the
secret. They
recipe,
can buy
the
book.
recipe for that, my cookies will be in there.
selling the book. I have.
Yes. Can we pre-order? Are you taking pre-orders? I think you should. You should do pre-orders. Mary Teresa, what's your drink of choice?
Chardonnay with a side of ice.
Chardonnay, okay. Pat?
You know, I have to say, I agree with you, Chardonnay, like, it's a white wine, but I really don't drink as much as I used to, so, yeah.
Jack, what's your cocktail of choice?
My choice is gin.
Gin. Now,
Gin
how do you?
and sin, right here.
Gin and sin.
Gin, I like to mix it with ice and a slice of lime.
Hardcore, wow. What kind of gin?
The one I really like and I can't get is Pinnacle Gin. I mean, Pinnacle makes a
Yeah,
lot of
Pinnacle.
vodkas that are really
Yeah, all
popular.
the flavor vodkas.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't
And
know they made a
they
gin.
make a good gin, but nobody around here carries it. I'm trying to get somebody.
I've never had Pinnacle Gin.
I've never had that. If I see
Yeah.
it though, I'll pick it up for you.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I'll do Tanqueray or Beefeaters. I'm in that range.
Have you ever had the purple gin?
No.
It's I forget the name of it. It's purple. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
I would try it just because it's purple.
Yeah, it makes a beautiful cocktail.
It
You
does.
know.
Oh, make it
good.
pretty.
Yeah.
I got to tell
the
you, I have a
lavender.
gin story about Jack then too, since he's talking to me out of school.
Well, let's hear it.
One time we were at an event at Sayin Gardens, and there, at Sayin Gardens has a bunch of different rooms,
Yeah.
and there was stuff happening in all of the rooms, and the party was going on, everything was going smoothly, there was dancing, everything was fabulous, and all of a sudden, who was running the show came up to me and said, "Thank you so much, you and Jack are so generous," and I'm like, Jack,
Are we?
what'd you do? I mean, but this was a different kind of gin. It was like 80% or something because they only had a certain type. It was like blue. It was a.
Oh, it was Bombay.
Bombay Sapphire.
Oh, it was Bombay Sapphire.
Bombay Sapphire,
and
yes.
he was pretty lit, And what he did was, I complained that when they were talking in one room, you couldn't hear in the other room. Jack said, "I will I'll put the electricity through the whole place so that you can hear it.
Speakers.
I'll put speakers
Rewire
through
it
I'll
all,
rewire
yes.
this whole place. I'll rewire. So thank you, Jack.
I really want to go out with you two one night. I don't know. Should we? You are. Well, yeah,
Wait a
we
minute.
can't wait.
That was
You'll get
many
a
years
taste
ago
of it.
too, but I'm
boy.
telling you, my 50-year reunion's coming up, and we just had a reunion meeting, and we're going. Is it going to be an afternoon or a nighttime? An afternoon or a nighttime? And so, like 8 girls, nobody's agreeing on anything. But I like daytime, I like nighttime. And my thoughts were like, we're not getting any younger, and I can have fun from 1 to 5 or 5 to 10. It doesn't matter to me if it's 1 to 5 or 5 to 10 because I can still have the same amount of fun. And what they were worried about is like, you think people are going to talk about us because we drink in the middle of the day? No.
And who cares if they do?
No,
Who
because
cares?
we're old. We
just
could
jealous.
go home at 5 o'clock.
It's so funny.
Take a
I
nap.
went to Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
just saw this meme that basically said that. It said, older folks have it right because they know that they can do 3 a.m. stuff at 12 noon.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. It doesn't matter what time it is. You're just,
Let me tell you, I never realized how much fun it was going to be to get old because we all thought they were just, look at those old folks. They were-"
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when I was getting like periodontal work done when I was like in my 40s and they said, oh, that will last till you're like 65. And I'm like, oh, I don't care then. Well, I'm like, yeah, I care. I care what my hair looks like. I care what my teeth look like.
of course, of course. And part of that keeping you young, right, is your CBD, right? You
Oh
two,
my
the two
gosh,
of
yes, I got my
you.
CBD
Tell me
clothes on,
about
yeah.
your CBD.
Mary
Love
Teresa and
Peace
I
CBD.
are walking,
yeah.
walking commercials for CBD.
Hempworks, Hempworks.
Well, that's the CBD, yeah.
So
That's
how
the
does that
company
keep you
we-
young? Tell us more about it.
I mean, look at Mary Teresa's hair.
I know.
Shampoo and conditioner. We have it all.
All hemp.
Shampoo, conditioner, but they're, hemp.
Yeah.
My Daily Choice is the name of the company that Paula and I align ourselves with. And it's a house of brands, and one of the brands is, it's HempWorks, and one of the products is CBD oil. So Paula had introduced it to me, what, over 3 years ago.
yeah.
She had mentioned, like, right in the very beginning, like, I was like the first one that she called.
Poor Mary Teresa, she's the first one I call for everything.
I know. But anyway, I got it. My husband, actually, Beth Fromkin, who is the head of the, Big Man's Brew.
Right, right.
Was doing CBD, and we didn't know it at the time.
No, that's
But she
funny.
had given it to my husband.
Talk about a connection.
This is a whole
Yeah.
nother connection. And, because my husband's a huge skeptic. So then he found out that I was doing the same thing. I just started. I didn't even get my product yet. And so he was taking it because he had, he's an avid golfer, but he had a really bad pains in his shoulder. He couldn't hardly, swing the club or whatever. But it started working. It was working, and he said it even made his golf
Swing
better.
Yeah.
His golf game improved. So he takes it. He's faithful. He takes it every day for the past over 3 years.
Right.
And I do the same thing. I take it too. I have like a rheumatoid arthritis, and I take it. I shouldn't be saying like
No,
what
no,
it
we have
is.
to be careful in what we
Yeah,
say
we
because
can't
we're
say
not a
it.
pharmaceutical,
Right,
so
right.
inflammation,
But
you got very big
inflammation, yeah,
inflammation.
like inflammation. But I used to get pain in my head.
Like, don't say pain. You have to say, like,
No.
like you're hitting your head
Discomfort?
against the wall or something.
Kind of
if you know what you're
ache,
talking.
yeah.
Like,
Where
you know,
I used to take
Where
prescription.
your head didn't feel good.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. And I used to take prescription.
Wait,
pills
rhymes
for that.
with,
I
rhymes
used to
with
take it.
hydrant?
Yeah, right, so we can do the rhymes.
It rhymes with. But I
But
used
Mary
to take-
Teresa's rheumatologist hands out her if I
My
said
business
that right,
card.
Her business card because she
She's a
saw
proponent.
how well it worked for Mary Teresa because you can do a test to see how your inflammation
Mm-hmm.
is. And-
You sent me your link, and I checked it out, and I forgot to order it. But I had a question, so I was a little overwhelmed. There's so many different
So
types
many.
of it. So, like, what do you recommend? Like, I don't have any particular
Well,
pain or anything.
I always
but
recommend, there's different strengths. There's a 500, 750, and what is it, 1500?
yeah. Oh my God.
I
like, what
always
does it
say-
do for your general well-being?
It's kind of, everybody's different, so it kind of.
I just happen to
I
have
just
some
took
with me.
mine.
I carry mine with me.
I knew it.
Like,
So
I'll even let you
inflammation,
try it if you want.
It fights inflammation.
Mm-hmm. And it's also good for when you want to go night-night.
This is a new flavor. It's chocolate strawberry. So, oh my God, I opened it up and yeah,
Can I smell
yeah,
it?
you can open. If you had a spoon or something, if you promise you don't touch it, you just throw a drop on your tongue
You could
if you
even put
want.
it on your finger.
And the
Oh, yeah, you can
numbers,
put it on your
the
finger.
numbers on there, that's like the dosage?
Yeah, so, well, 500, that's a 1500 strength. So I always tell people in the very beginning, to start out with 500, because everybody's different. Everybody has their own.
Jack's been
and
on
it doesn't
500
give
for
you-
3 years. He never
Yeah.
had to go up from 500.
Did
It's
you
funny,
try
Mary
this?
Teresa and I both got these products for our husbands, not really for us, because they were the ones in pain, and maybe we have something to do about it. I don't know.
Smells so good.
Yeah, well, this one smells good too. This is
Cinnamon?
my favorite.
I love cinnamon.
I have trouble opening this sometimes with the.
And I take
Make
the
sure,
natural. I
make
like the
sure this is
natural.
closed.
This-
So does
this-
the natural it has no flavor?
No flavor.
At
It tastes
all?
like olive oil.
Jack
Like olive oil.
and Mary Teresa, no flavor, natural. And me, I'm like,
All of them,
chocolate
And
all the
Larry,
things.
yeah, he likes
I
the
want all the
peppermint.
things.
There's
okay, don't
peppermint
open this
also.
one.
There's a
because
lot of
It's
different
been in my
flavors.
pocketbook.
does
make
each
sure
one
this
of
is
these do
closed.
different
I just-
things?
I-
No,
I
oh,
really
is that
want
the
to
cinnamon?
taste it.
Oh, okay.
It's just a
Yeah, the
different
cinnamon
flavor.
tastes just like smells. It's like Christmas tree in your mouth.
And
As cinnamon
it's all
is.
love
It's
in
just so good.
droppers? Like-
Yes,
That-
show
it
her,
smells
Paula.
amazing.
It's a dropper. Show her the dropper.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know
it-
if
look,
they
Well,
were.
we also have gummies
I just
too.
did some,
Okay.
but look, you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're good.
5 drops a day?
That-
Twice
well,
a day.
You do have to find your sweet spot. I got to tell you a funny story. Up in the mountains, a couple of girls bought it from me, and she was taking another CBD, and her dosage was 5 dropper fulls.
Oh,
And so when she
wow.
saw mine, she took 5 dropper fulls. She was supposed to take 5.
What,
and
did it last
this
a
is-
week? Oh,
but-
my
No,
goodness.
she got a good night's sleep though. I'll tell you that right now. But she woke up nice and fresh. But she just wasted a lot because you can't overdose on CBD. You'll pee it out if you took too much. And there's no psychoactive stuff in this. It's
Right.
the hemp derived. People have. Some people have in their mind, reefer madness that
No.
created all that stuff about marijuana and hemp. They're
Well, it
they're
doesn't
in
have
the
the-
same family, but they're two different things.
Right.
One has a lot of THC in it, and the
Right.
other one doesn't.
And it's farmed in Kentucky
Yeah.
also.
And so, yeah, when Mary Teresa and I started, they only had nutritional sprays and the CBD, and we were really happy. But then the pandemic hit and all that kind of stuff, and instead of them backing down, because they took advantage of the pandemic, because everybody started purchasing online.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that might not have made it through the pandemic, they had such vision and they followed trends so much that they just started adding to their product line what, like most people who take CBD, like essential oils. So they started getting the essential oils. And now Mary, Teresa, and I used essential oils too from another company. And we found out this company, not only were the essential oils really great quality, it cost less. So we were like, yeah, I like that. Who doesn't like getting a good product at a good price? And then they just continued to add, and like Mary Teresa said, they're a house of brands now, because the other thing they found out that women liked, and I have Jack on this now too, is that collagen. I know you've been hearing about
Oh,
it. It's
yes,
good for
I
your
need
hair,
some.
good for your face,
Liquid.
good for your nails, but it's good for your joints too.
Right.
And it's a liquid collagen that you just take a shot of it. And Jack and I have been doing it for a couple of months now, and I had a shoulder injury. I still feel it, but not like it was before. So, you know, collagen's good. So it's all health and wellness stuff. And the thing I love about this company is she got the CBD because of an adversity in her life, and that's why they put it into the product line. But she needed it to be pure, and this is pure. We have the QR code and the H on here. This is the hemp seal of approval. What the hemp seal of approval means is that what we say is in this bottle is in this bottle. And when you get the natural, there's only two things in there: CBD extract and the oil from the hemp plant, because you need an oil to mix it with. So, but they do put chocolate flavors and stuff to make the flavor. And so if you're a real purist, you don't want this, you want just, but the CBD I was getting from my holistic and complementary doctor was a medical grade CBD, and it had preservatives in it. It had 10 ingredients, and this has 2. So, you know,
The less ingredients, the better for everything.
yeah, you don't want, I don't want preservatives in anything.
Yeah.
You know? So, but it was a medical grade. His clientele, patients, you know, why don't you have CBD in your office? Why don't you have CBD in your office? So he had the girls at the thing go get me the best medical grade CBD that you can get. And it was good, but that's what I started with, was his CBD. Well, funny story is I bought it for Jack when I was there getting a treatment, and he said, I don't know anything about CBD. I'm not taking that stuff. You know, husbands aren't going to do what you tell them to do. And I was too embarrassed to say here, and it was $140 there. You know, I don't want it. I want to give it back to you. I wouldn't say, I'm like, no, I said, I'll take it, you know. And it's good for busy minds and, you know, if you get nervous and stuff like that, you
okay.
can't say the word anxiety.
Oh, we can't
But,
say it. All right.
If you're an A personality and you're filled with everything that's going on around you, oh my God, this stuff
So,
is
mental
amazing.
clarity.
Clarity, calmness.
Fights inflammation.
Excuse me?
Fights inflammation.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I've had people with skin issues that it's helped. The reason why it helps so many different things, you're thinking, where's this been? How come we don't know? It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It was in as like a Schedule 1 drug with the FDA until an administration was in and took it out of the Farm Bill, because what they were finding out is that it was naturally helping young children with, what did that one young girl have?
Seizures.
Seizures. She was having seizures.
Charlotte's Web.
Thank you. Her family had to go to Canada to get it, because you could get it in Canada. And so once it was out of the Farm Bill, then you could grow hemp in the United States. And that's why 4 years ago it got so popular here, because it was legal to grow it. And now, then what you saw was it was at gas stations, and now drugstores are in it. It's everywhere,
yeah.
but it's not regulated because it's an herb, okay? So that's why you want to make sure that you're buying your product at a place that is extracting it correctly, so that there's no mold, this, that, and the other in it. And that's what this company does, because she got it for her own health. So most of our stuff is, you know, vegan, animal cruelty free, all that good stuff, because she not only, Jenna Zweigel is her name, she's the CEO, she's the top earning direct salesperson in the United States. And so Mary Treese and I learned from her. We've met her in person before, and they're
She's so
young,
sweet, yeah.
and they're conscious of the world. So what their goal is not only did they become a house of brands of quality products, now other people are knocking on their door. Can we bring our product to you? Can we bring? And so they're coming out really soon now.
Yeah,
It's
about a
like
week
maybe
and a half.
next week.
Yeah.
It's called the marketplace, because people that are coming to them saying, because her husband, Josh, is a technological genius. He created all these systems, because everything's on here now.
Sure.
So they want his system. They want his system, so they're coming to him, but I don't understand the technology. But anyway, between Josh and Jenna, not only is it going to be the House of Brands, it's going to be the House of Impact, because everything that you buy, when you purchase it, on your receipt is going to say, with your purchase, we planted so many trees here. With your purchase, we fed this many kids here. So, because I mean, you can see it on when you buy certain waters and everything. They say this is environmentally sound, so it's good for you to buy this water because we're going to take care of the environment. So I think that I'm so glad to be aligned with a company that I agree with a lot of the things that they're doing. So. We just were in the right place at the right time. I always say it, again, you know how I feel about God putting things in my path. This is a natural herb. I was into natural healing. It comes from the ground.
Yeah.
Give it to my husband. We stopped him from getting a surgery with it. He was going to PT to find out with it, and because he was a runner his entire life, he used to do marathons and stuff like that, and it doesn't get you till you're older. You can pound that pavement all you want. It gets you till you're older. Then your knees hurt, your hips hurt, everything hurts. And he was in chronic pain. This stopped it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So
well,
me and Mary Tracy, it's like we're never going to not get excited about this.
I
We made our
know.
husbands feel better.
It's a passion, you can tell.
Yeah.
So HempWorks,
That cap on that bottle.
we can find it at HempWorks. What's the parent company? What is it under?
My Daily Choice.
My
But you would
Daily
go
Choice.
through
No,
the-
you know
the
what you want? You
website,
want Mary
yeah.
Teresa to send you the link, and I'm going to tell you why. If you just
I
go
have
into
it.
big old Google, if you just do
I will.
that, so many other things can come up. If you go to Mary Teresa's, you're going to get a nice, clean.
All right, and so now what do you recommend I start with? The 500?
500.
All right,
And you
so,
can pick whatever flavor you like.
And it's 5 droplets twice a day?
You got to find
You
your
could-
sweet
but
spot.
you could do more
Because
if
some
you want.
people can
Yeah.
do. Some people do less.
Well,
But how much do you take, Jack? You just go.
Yeah, I just fill the dropper up in the morning and take it. I don't count.
Yeah, in the beginning,
Mine
listen,
is just a
listen,
little
in
less
the
than
beginning,
gin.
I was going under my tongue. 1, 2, 3. Now we
Yeah,
just
so
pick.
5
We just go like
twice
that.
a day. 5 drops twice a day to start off.
Yeah,
if you
in the
wanna do
morning
that.
and then night.
And then you could adjust it as
You
you go
sleep
along.
well.
well, I've got my shopping list, so I'm leaving here, going Big Man's
Tequila,
Brew, Trace Agave, Pinnacle Gin, and HempWorks.
I just want to tell you.
Sounds like a good time.
I just really want to tell you really quickly, if you're going to go there, they're having a Mother's Day sale going on right now. All their makeup, all their spa products, all their oil is half price. So if you go in there, look under the daily deals, because it's crazy. It's like Crazy Eddie prices. It's half price.
Crazy Eddie, their prices are
Insane!
On that note, guys, we got to wrap it up. We are. We're all
What's
insane.
the thing about the crazy?
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole segment?
Right, yeah.
We miss it every time I'm here.
Do we have 5 more minutes, guys? All right, we have a few more minutes. All
Oh,
right.
we're past the time.
That's okay.
How does that happen?
I don't, well, we just have fun. We just go with it. So, all right, tell us about, you have an Am I the Asshole situation. Who do you think is the asshole?
All right,
Tell us the story, and then everybody on the panel will
And-
weigh
and-
in.
And then you can weigh in. Okay, I'm sure this happened to every woman on the panel right now. When you're scrolling Facebook and all of a sudden you get a notification that somebody wants to be your friend, or they leave you a little message and they say something like, "You're so beautiful, I love your posts, and you're always so interesting and so inspiring, but I've been trying to be your friend and it won't let me. Could you kindly be your friend? I hope I'm not hurting your feelings by doing this." And every time you click on it to see who it is, they're always in the military, they're always widowed, and they're always a surgeon.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes, they are.
These people are not real. And so you go and block them. And I think every time, because you don't want them, they start going on all your stuff. They're like stalking you, right? You go and block them, and then they have their friends say the same thing, and then you have to play the blocking game for a little. But block these people. I'm telling you, I think they're viruses.
I think so.
I think they're
So-
robots or something.
So they're the asshole. And
Yes,
the people
they are.
and the people that accept their friend requests,
I feel sorry.
They've
for
also
them.
now become an asshole. If
no,
you
but-
accept the friend request,
You
can
are
now
the
Yeah,
asshole.
I feel
Right.
sorry for them because they could be looking like, oh, they think
They're
I'm
lonely,
interested.
right.
No, I don't feel
and
sorry
they're
for
a
them.
They
widower
play on
and
your
they're a
heart.
I
doctor.
gotta say
It's
that's
just
kind
stupidity.
of attached to that. So now when you're out in public, and you know how restaurants now have you scan the QR code, everything out in public, it's a QR code. Make sure that there's no sticker on top of that QR code, because I saw on the news today that these scammers are sticking their own QR codes on top of other things.
stop it.
Out on restaurant, like on menus and things.
Really?
oh,
And then what do
wherever.
they get your information?
As soon as you scan it, they have all your information.
Oh,
The
oh,
information
a
in
new
your phone.
scam? Jeez.
So make sure the QR code you're scanning, there's no sticker on top of it, like,
Yeah, you
Then it's
really have
the
to
person where you-
feel it, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Well, Jen, thanks for the PSA.
You're welcome.
The more you know. See,
Could
you
you
learned something
imagine
here
if
today.
they used their talents for good, what they could do for the world?
100%.
How could you even figure that stuff out?
100%.
I don't know, but thank you for that info. So now we're all going to be extra vigilant. All right, well, signing off. Take care. We'll
gonna get
see you
tequila and
next
gin.
Wednesday.
Bye.
Gin,
Those are
tequila,
great. You
and
guys are so
CBD. You are too. Thanks for coming, and we can't wait to have you back. Thank you, guys. We can't wait till you come back. I can't wait to the event. Thank you so much.